Before delving into 5 psychological truths about women in love, I need to clarify. This video is not for those with negative, hateful, or resentful attitudes towards women. You know I always love and respect women, but love doesn't mean blind devotion. And respect doesn't mean letting yourself be naive and easily manipulated. The biggest mistake men make is imposing their logical thinking on women's emotions. Then, when reality hits them in the face, they're bewildered and don't understand why. Just yesterday they were passionate, but today she's cold? Why do you pour your heart and soul, your money, only to receive the answer, "I'm not ready," while she's instantly ready for someone else? The problem isn't that they intentionally deceived you. The problem is that women's psychological mechanisms and selective instincts operate far differently than you imagine. Today, I'm going to uncover 5 truths about women's psychology when in love. Understanding the rules of the game will ensure you never have to play the victim or backup plan again. Truth number 1. The branch swinging. Instinct. One of the most controversial truths about female psychology in love is something often called branch swinging. Picture a monkey moving through a dense jungle. It never lets go of the branch it's holding until the other hand has firmly grabbed a stronger one. For many women, the instinct for emotional security works in a very similar way. They hold on to the old branch, you, keeping the relationship alive just enough until they secure a new emotional destination. She says, "I need time to think. I want to focus on my career. I'm emotionally confused." But sometimes, the hidden truth is far simpler. I'm waiting to see if the other option works out first. If it fails, then maybe I'll come back to you. And honestly, if you've become a weak branch, lazy, directionless, emotionally unstable, lacking ambition or purpose, then don't blame the monkey for wanting to jump. Instead, ask yourself, why didn't you become the tree strong enough to make her stay? Truth number 2. Women naturally gravitate toward the best option. Available for millions of years, female psychology has been shaped by one core instinct. Find the strongest possible partner, better genes, greater security, higher status. A man capable of providing stability and protection for the future. That instinct never disappeared. It simply evolved with modern society. And now, in the age of social media, a beautiful, confident woman is constantly exposed to men with more money, more influence, more charisma, and more options than ever before. So ask yourself honestly, who do you think she imagines herself ending up with? An average man who stays stagnant, or the man who stands out from the crowd? Unlike many men, women are often less limited by the feeling of, "I'm not good enough for him." If they see an opportunity for a better life, deeper emotions, or higher value, many will take that chance without hesitation. And here's the harsh reality most men refuse to face. When she's already becoming emotionally bored with you, when you've become lazy, predictable, broke, emotionally weak, or uninspiring, and suddenly another man enters her life, more ambitious, more confident, more exciting, her instincts will often overpower logic, because attraction rarely stays loyal to potential alone. So don't expect permanent loyalty if you remain a man who never grows, never improves, and never moves forward. Truth number 3. Women categorize men into different roles. Men often judge women emotionally. She's out of my league. She might like me. She's probably impossible to get. But women often categorize men with far more clarity and sometimes brutal practicality. A seemingly sweet and innocent girl may secretly organize the men around her based on function and emotional value. The funny guy, the one who gives her attention and free gifts, The tech guy, the one she calls whenever something breaks. The reliable driver, the one always available to pick her up at midnight. The emotional guy, the one who listens to her problems for hours. And then, there's the man she truly desires, the one she respects, the one she fears losing, the one she sees as higher value. This is why many men become confused in relationships, because men are often logical in life, yet emotional and blind in love. While women may appear emotional on the surface, deep down, many are surprisingly strategic about relationships and emotional investment. Men are naturally wired to build systems, create, conquer, and shape the world around them. Women, on the other hand, have evolved to understand, influence, and navigate human behavior, especially the behavior of men. And the harsh truth is, if you don't know what role you play in her life, you may already be trapped in a category you never wanted to be in. Truth number 4, stability, is where attraction goes to die. Men can often maintain desire even when a relationship becomes repetitive. But for many women, once everything becomes too predictable, too safe, too emotionally flat, their feelings begin to fade faster than most men realize. That's when they start calling you boring. Not because you're a bad person, but because nothing about you creates emotional tension anymore. No excitement, no growth, no mystery, no emotional spark. And here's the painful part. When a woman has already emotionally disconnected, desperate promises like, "I'll change, I'll treat you better, I'll do anything for you," usually don't rebuild attraction. They only make you look weaker, like trying to perform CPR on something that already died long ago. Because attraction cannot survive on desperation. That's why a man must constantly evolve, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. You need to create what could be called value shocks, new layers of ambition, confidence, purpose, energy, and growth. Because the moment a woman feels she has completely figured you out, the mystery disappears. And without mystery, for many relationships, the emotion slowly dies with it. Truth number 5, female attraction follows deeper biological cycles. Remember this carefully. Male desire is often simple, almost like an on and off switch. But female attraction tends to move in emotional and biological cycles. During certain phases, especially around ovulation, hormones become significantly stronger. And in those moments, instinct begins to take control beneath the surface. That instinct naturally pushes many women toward men who embody powerful masculine energy, strength, confidence, dominance, ambition, even a touch of unpredictability and danger. Not because they consciously choose it, but because attraction itself was shaped long before modern civilization existed. So if a man becomes soft, physically neglected, overly agreeable, constantly seeking approval, living without ambition or purpose, then he should not be shocked when desire slowly disappears. Because being nice alone rarely satisfies deep instinctive attraction. And when another man enters the picture, a man with stronger presence, stronger energy, stronger purpose, biology often speaks louder than comfort. Nature itself does not care about fairness or emotions. It cares about survival, strength, the continuation of the strongest possible bloodline. That is the brutal truth many men refuse to face. If you fail to maintain your edge, your discipline, your physical presence, your masculine energy, your purpose, you risk becoming the safe provider, while another man becomes the one she truly craves. Conclusion: I'm not sharing these harsh truths about female psychology to make you bitter. And I'm not saying this so you start hating women. I'm saying it because most men go through life completely blind to the rules of the game they're playing. Instead of endlessly asking, Why did she become cold? Why did she leave? Why wasn't my love enough? Learn to ask a different question. What kind of man have I become? Because the uncomfortable truth is this: attraction is not maintained by begging, not by desperation, not by promises. It is maintained by growth, by strength, by purpose, by emotional control, by becoming a man whose presence naturally commands respect. Never forget, you were not born to be a disposable pawn in someone else's emotional game. You were meant to become the man who controls his own direction, his own value, and his own future. And maybe that's the real lesson behind all of this. Not understanding women, but understanding the man you must become. So now I want to ask you something. Which of these truths hit you the hardest? And do you think modern relationships are driven more by love or by human nature? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.